Hello, everyone, and welcome to the online Pioneer Preview event for the College of Nursing undergraduate session. I'm Melissa Rodriguez, Assistant Director of Admissions for TWU Houston Center. I have the privilege now to introduce Dr. Rosalie Mainous, the Dean for the College of Nursing at Texas Women's University.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here because I'm so excited about our undergraduate program. And as you probably all know, it is one of the best in the state. We have wonderful outcomes, great experiences. We offer study abroad. Our state board exam pass rate is about 98 or 99%. Hard to do much better than that. And we have opportunities in Dallas and Houston, and we're working on a program that will eventually be offered in Denton as well. So we're trying to expand the different ways to get into the program and the different sites where we're offering the program. So the people that are really most knowledgeable about this undergraduate program are my advisors, because they talk to people that are interested in the program every day, and they know all the details and the ins and outs. And so what I'm going to do is let them introduce themselves, and then they have some slides, a presentation to share with you. And when they finish, then we can come back to questions and answers. So thank you for coming today. Alex, you want to get us started, or is it Dejanay?
All right, I'll go ahead and get us started. So my name is Dejanay Hayes. I am one of the College of Nursing advisors located at the Houston Center. And then I'll have the rest of the team introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Jessica Lowera. I'm also an advisor. I'm usually located in the Denton campus, but I think we'll go over it here in a second, but any student is able to meet with any advisor in the College of Nursing.
Hello.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Can you all see and hear me? Well, good. Okay, so my name's Alex House. I'm one of the advisors at the College of Nursing. Unfortunately, I was having some technical difficulties, so I'm having a little bit of trouble logging in and seeing everything. But I'll just keep going with the presentation, the slideshow here, and after I finish, one of my colleagues will join and complete the presentation, and then at the end we'll give you guys some time to ask questions and that type of thing. So anyway, we're glad you're here. Okay, next slide, whoever's handling that. So a few of the things that we want to talk to you about are why a bachelor's degree, why you want to attend TWU for nursing school, what the program requirements are, and we'll tell you about transferring and applying resources once you enroll in the program. Next. So we offer the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, which leads to licensure as a registered nurse. After you complete our program, you will have an opportunity to take the NCLEX. Once you pass that exam, you will be a registered nurse. Okay. So why a bachelor's degree and not an associate's degree for your RN? As I'm sure you're aware, associates programs do offer you the opportunity to become licensed as an RN. But if you go for your bachelor's degree, you'll get a lot more knowledge about nursing theory, wellness. You'll also learn management skills, and that will give you more job opportunities when you graduate, and also the opportunity to perhaps hold higher level jobs within your organization after you leave our program. Next. Okay, so studies have shown that a link between bachelor's prepared nurses versus associate's degree nurses has led to decreased mortality rates in hospitals, as well as fewer medication errors. So basically, the more education that the nurse receives, the better the outcomes for the patients. So we have two primary routes to our Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. We have a traditional program that is offered on our Dallas and Houston campuses. It admits for the spring and fall terms. The traditional program is a day program. It's full time, meets during the day, typically between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday. And students take courses in the fall and spring terms. We also have a weekend and evening program. That program meets on Tuesdays from 5 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 5 to 9 p.m. Uh, and students do their clinicals on the weekends in the weekend and evening program, Saturday and Sunday between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. That program is only offered on the Dallas campus, and it only admits students in the fall. The RN to BS bridge program is another way to get a bachelor's degree. It's for people who've already gone through an associate's degree program at another school, perhaps a community college, and they've taken the NCLEX and became registered nurses, and they're seeking to get their RN licensure uh, to get their bachelor's degree, but already have their RN licensure. That program is offered online, and most students can complete it in about a year if they're taking the right amount of classes each term. Next. Okay, so at this point, I am going to let one of our other advisors take over and tell you about why you should attend TWU for your nursing degree.
Would the next speaker be Daniel Gray?
Daniel?
There I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Daniel Gray, and I am going to take over the presentation from here for this next part. Sorry about that little delay. So why TWU for your nursing career? TWU is among the nation's leading universities, not only just in nursing, but in healthcare professionals as well. But let's go to the next slide, specific to nursing. Excellence. The average nursing Corps GPA of students admitted to our upper division nursing program is right around 3.75. So we have an excellent program, but we wouldn't have the excellent program without excellent students. And we see that, represented in this nursing Corps GPA of 3.75, essentially. So we have really great students coming into our program. But also we have really great students coming out. TWU nursing students first-time pass rate is over 90%. I believe it's 94% right now. Over the last 5 years on taking the nursing licensure exam, which is called the NCLEX, which some of you I'm sure have heard of. This rate is higher than the overall state and national first-time pass rates. And we are able to educate a whole bunch of you, hundreds, and get you to pass the first time around. So we're doing we couldn't do it without all of these excellent students, and we certainly want you to join us. Next slide, please. Resources. We're one university with 3 locations, a little different than some other schools, but we have obviously Denton, Houston, and Dallas. In all 3 of these places, we have state-of-the-art nursing education facilities located in thriving medical districts. We have these 2 beautiful buildings in the medical district in Dallas and in the Texas Medical Center in Houston. And this is where the current nursing program is held. So when you get into the last 2 years of your university education, this is where you do your actual upper division nursing classes. Skip to the next slide, please. But before you, while you're in that building, in one of those 2 buildings, you'll also be working with some of that state-of-the-art technology, such as interactive patient simulators, such as these ones. These are mannequins, or sometimes what they're called, but they're way more sophisticated than that. This is where you learn how to put in an IV, how to take vital signs, how to approach a patient in a bed, how to move a patient around. And as you can see, we have adults, we have newborns, and these are basically where you make your mistakes, because we want you to make your mistakes in a safe simulation kind of environment before you go out and work with actual humans. So let's go ahead and skip to the next slide, please. Some of our other great resources are our faculty. So for example, Dr. Judith McFarland, she conducts research on the health effects of violence against women and the effectiveness of interventions to prevent further violence. She and a team developed an app to help first frontline providers assess the risk of partner violence for people that they would encounter out in the field. So Dr. McFarland would be one example of an excellent faculty member that you'll have the chance to work directly with. Let's go ahead and skip to the next one. You also have lots of opportunities, such as like what Michaela Cortez has done. She's up here on the right. She was one of only 5 nursing students in the country and the only undergraduate selected for a research internship studying the Ebola virus at the NIH Clinical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. She was selected from a pool of over 7,000 applicants, and she was the only undergrad, and she came from our program. We're very proud of Michaela, and we look forward to seeing what our future students will do as they go out into the world for these other internships like this. Other opportunities that are out there are lots and lots of study abroad opportunities. Every year, with the exception of this this summer with the global pandemic that's happening, we do send students out to a variety of locations such as China, the Dominican Republic, Kenya, Korea, the Netherlands, Peru, where you get to go out and work in the field and to different cultures and see how nursing is conducted in these different settings and learn in this kind of cross-cultural environment. And that is a situation where what you're doing actually gets you course credit. So it's not just a cool trip, but it's actually it's part of your degree plan if you want it to be. Skip to the next slide, please. History, over 100 years of quality nursing education at TWU. We've basically been doing this probably longer than anyone else out there in the country. We're the first department of nursing started in 1907, basically right when the school started training home health nurses, because that's the way nursing was taught over 100 years ago. In 1940, we offered the first bachelor's in nursing, which was actually that RN to BS bridge program kind of idea that Alex talked about earlier in this presentation. And then in 1952, we established an LPN, Licensed Professional Nurse program was established, one of only 5 in the country. And then in 1953, we started offering the Bachelor of Science in Nursing that originally took over from Parkland Hospital, located in Dallas, and began offering a giant 168 credit hour pre-licensure BS. That's a lot of hours. The first student started graduating in 1958. So basically, we've had this Bachelor of Science in Nursing for a very, very, very long time. In 1960, the TWU Institute of Health Sciences opened in Houston in the Texas Medical Center. So we've been doing this for a very long time, and again, we couldn't do this without the excellent students that we have, and we really are excited to have these next students joining us in the future. Let's go to the next slide. So the first 2 years when you're in our program, when you join us, you'll actually be in the Denton campus, and the Denton campus is a really unique place that has, despite being a rather large school of about 15,000 students, it still has a small, almost private college feel with beautiful buildings, a campus that's easy to move around, and located in very much a college town of Denton, which is unlike any other kind of area in Dallas-Fort Worth. You can have small living learning communities within the residence halls where you get to live in close community with other nursing, pre-nursing majors and take your classes together and live together. And then we're also one of the most diverse student bodies in the nation. We're top 10 for diversity, both with people of color comprising 59% of the enrollment with women and men. And we welcome everybody at our community, at our university, and our nursing program certainly reflects the population of the university on a whole. So let's skip to the next slide. And at this point, I'll turn it over to our next advisor to lead on.
All right, hi guys. So my name again is Dejanay Hayes. So we'll go ahead and start with the courses that you'll need to apply to the Upper Division Nursing program. So this page here is our 4-year degree plan. So it's just a sample plan, but we do understand some courses do get mixed around a little bit when you're doing your prerequisites. So what are the prerequisites needed to apply? You need to have the 7 nursing core courses. The 7 nursing core courses of chemistry of any college level, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, microbiology, developmental psychology lifespan, introduction to nutrition, and elementary statistics. In addition to those courses, you'll have the Texas State core courses. Those are the courses that are not voted on the screen. That includes your Englishes, your governments, your histories, your language, philosophy, and culture, those creative arts. So all of those extra fun classes that you have to take, those do count as your prerequisite courses. These courses, you will not take them in the assigned order. You can mix them around however you like. You can take fewer or more credit hours at TW or your current institution. But as long as these courses are completed, then you will be eligible to apply to the program. Once you've completed your prerequisites, which generally takes about 2 years, you apply to the upper division nursing program at the Dallas or Houston campus, and then you'll start at semester 5. So in the nursing program, you will be learning many different skills, many different theories, and doing a lot of research as well as clinical experience while in this program. It's a 2-year program, summers off. As you can see, each semester is about 16 to 17 credit hours in exception to semester 8, which is your last semester in the program. You will have at least one clinical course or more per semester. So you'll see in semester 5, which is your junior 1 semester, you'll have one clinical course. So that's your concepts and clinical competencies. So any course that you see that's a 5 credit hour, that's a lecture, lab, and clinical course. Clinicals are done at respective hospitals near the Dallas and Houston campus. So any of the hospitals we have agreements with, you'll be doing your clinicals there or on campus doing simulation labs, working with the interactive simulators. All right, so this is our color chart. We do have this available on our website. So you could be able to view it there. It basically has everything you need to know about applying to our program. So the prerequisites stated earlier, so those 7 nursing core courses, so your anatomies and physiology 1 and 2, micro, chemistry, developmental psychology lifespan, nutrition statistics, in addition to those Texas State core courses, so your histories, your governments, etc. If you're coming from high school, we do accept all IB, AP, CLEP examinations and dual degree credits. So we just strongly encourage that you meet with an advisor so that we can look over your transcripts and view those credit hours that are coming in. If you did transfer your credits like AP and dual credit to another institution, we will also honor those credits as well. If you're a transfer student coming from any institution or a local community college, we do have a transfer equivalency guide located on our website that you can see to make sure that the courses you're taking will transfer over to TWU. But again, we do encourage that you meet with an advisor so that we can look at your transcripts and make sure that everything looks pretty much good to go. One thing that I do want to emphasize on is the Texas State core curriculum. If you're looking to complete your prerequisites at your current institution, we strongly encourage that you finish their Texas State core curriculum, meaning their Englishes, their governments, histories, and stuff like that, and become what we call core complete. That way, when you transfer to TWU, you won't have to worry about additional courses like multicultural women's studies or additional math and wellness. You'll just come into the program and just take your nursing credits. So again, the Texas State Core Complete is best to do it at your current institution before you transfer to TWU. However, if you do transfer to TWU not Core Complete, we'll make you Core Complete, so you'll have to take those additional courses during those summers off while in the program. All right, so I'll pass it on to our last advisor. All right, Jessica.
Hello, just warming up my camera. Alrighty, so we do have, we have a lot of information about the prerequisite courses. So you're probably wondering, when are you ready to apply for the upper division nursing program? So we have it listed here that, again, you have to have completed the 7 nursing core courses, which are developmental psychology, which is sometimes called lifespan development, introduction to nutrition, statistics, your anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, microbiology, and chemistry that has a lab and a lecture. And in addition to those nursing core courses, you do have to complete enough of the Texas State core requirements to total the 46 credit hours completed that are part of the nursing degree plan. can we keep going? So just to reiterate, that means that none of these 7 nursing core courses can be in progress when you submit your application. If you do submit an application while one of these courses is in progress, you will not be considered eligible for that application cycle. So it's very important for you to pay attention to each individual nursing programs that you may be applying to. Some programs do allow students to have 1 or 2 of these courses in progress. However, that's not the case with TWU. And when we're talking about the nursing application, it's good to keep a few things in mind. So we will be looking at your prerequisite GPA, which will be made out of the Texas State core requirements and your nursing core courses. So that GPA needs to be a 3.0 or higher in order to be considered eligible to apply. However, we do see regularly that nursing core GPA made out of those 7 nursing core courses is typically between a 3.5 to 3.8. I think Daniel at the beginning was mentioning, it's a 3.75 is a very average number for that GPA. You're also required to take the TEAS exam, which I understand that we have a lot of questions right now about what will happen with the TEAS exam, and we'll cover that in just a few moments. But usually the TEAS exam is taken anywhere from a week before the application deadline to 6 weeks before the deadline. You have to earn at least a 64% in each of the 4 sections. However, it's usually a score that is 85% or higher for you to be considered competitive. You will also see that students who complete at least 32 credit hours at TWU will earn the TWU preference. But that is for students who are pursuing their first bachelor's degree. If you have already completed a bachelor's degree and you're pursuing the upper division nursing program and you complete at least 16 credit hours of the nursing degree plan at TWU, then you are also eligible for the TWU preference. When our application deadlines, so we do have the same application deadline every year. We have 2 deadlines that occur. We have the August 15th deadline for spring admission and a February 1st deadline for fall admission. And by that application deadline, you do have to be considered a TWU student. So that means you will need to apply to the university through applytexas.org well before being able to submit your nursing CAS application. So that's typically some students submit it 6 weeks or more before the application deadline that you're aiming for. Then you will need to complete the nursing CAS application through nursingcas.org. And then you will need to submit all official transcripts to Nursing CAS. And that's even after you have submitted all of your official transcripts to the Office of Admissions Processing when you were first applying through Apply Texas. The TEAS scores, under normal conditions and you've taken your TEAS exam, you usually receive your TEAS scores anywhere from immediately after the test to a day or 2 after you've taken the test. And those scores are available for free. You just go to the ATI testing website and you're able to download your score report. You will not have to pay the additional fee to have them sent to the university. You will just upload that score report in your nursing CAS application. And we do have an application guide that one of our advisors has very kindly worked on. It does cover a lot of the nursing CAS steps and how to complete that. So just another things to go over, you have to be a TWU student in order to submit your nursing CAS application and be eligible for consideration for the program. So that is why it's very important to apply as early as 6 weeks before the application deadline that you're aiming for, so that you have secured your spot as a TWU student. The longer you wait, the more risky that it could be that you wouldn't be accepted until after the application deadline has passed, and that does make you ineligible for that application cycle. Then we talk about again that the official transcripts do have to be sent to both the TWU Office of Admissions Processing when you apply through Apply Texas, and again to Nursing CAS. So this is the time that we can open it up to all the questions that have been coming in through our chat, and we can, we'll leave it here on this slide here. We do have our email listed. It is nursingadvising@twu.edu. And this would be the best way at this time. If a few of you, or if many of you have already reached out to our email address, we do appreciate your patience at this time, as we are receiving a lot of emails. But we'll go ahead and open it up for more questions.
So if you like, I can kind of go back towards the beginning of some of the questions. I know an earlier one was asking about how long would the credits be good for? So I know about originally that 5-year rule. I know we don't have that anymore. So do you mind talking about the length of time for credits?
Sure. So as you said, we do not have a expiration date on any of our courses. So even if you've taken anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 and you earned an A 10 or more years ago, that will be acceptable and that will be used when we're reviewing your application. However, it is strongly recommended that if you are really unsure about how familiar you are with the material, to retake the course or to take some sort of refresher course to help yourself to prepare for the TEAS exam.
Thank you. Any information for like anyone doing a second degree? Someone asked a little earlier about 1, having a second degree, or 2, also would it be beneficial to take some credits at TWU before applying to the College of Nursing?
Sure. So with a second degree student, it would be helpful to take courses at TWU if you can complete 16 credit hours from that nursing degree plan at TWU, because you will receive a preference in your application. But if you've already completed all of or most of those nursing core courses in your first degree, I would not recommend retaking courses unless you needed to for a higher grade.
A lot of times we get asked about if somebody does retake a course, if the grades get averaged, or how do we go for the higher grade or the most recent grade?
Sure. So the policy is to accept the most recent attempt of a course. So if you are attempting to earn an A instead of a B, I would strongly, recommend that you consider, how likely will it be that you get a higher grade the second time around? Because if it is a lower grade, then we have to accept the lower grade.
And someone did ask if Houston offers pediatric nursing.
Pediatric nursing, no, we do not have students specialize in a specific area during their upper division nursing courses. I believe that you are given the knowledge for like a general knowledge to be successful in your nursing career, but you are able to look for internships or externships that give you more specialized experience.
This is the dean. Every nursing student in TWU's program will have a pediatric rotation, whether they're in Dallas or in Houston. You just can't specialize at the undergraduate level.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
And how many times can you take the T's?
The TEAS exam, you are limited to 2 attempts per each application cycle. If you do take it more than the 2 attempts, we will only consider those first 2, but you are able to send us the highest of the 2 attempts in your nursing CAS application.
Thank you. And another question was, so incoming freshmen are confused regarding the nursing CAS application.
So the nursing CAS application will happen after you've completed the nursing core courses, the 7 nursing core courses of microbiology, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, chemistry, developmental psychology, nutrition, and statistics. So unless you've finished all of those as dual credit or early college, you'll likely have at least 1 semester where you're working on those courses, and then you will submit your nursing CAS application to begin the upper division nursing program.
And for most students, that ends up being their sophomore year after their first semester, first sophomore semester. So 3 full semesters at the end of that fall semester, that's when they do the nursing CAS application for most students.
I have a question for making multiple applications. So if you didn't get in one semester, what happens for the next semester?
So you would be able to reapply to the program the next semester if you wanted to. And you could speak to an advisor about possibly retaking some of your courses that you may not have done as well in, or retaking the T's to try and get a higher score.
Where can students find the degree plan that you were showing in your presentation earlier?
That degree plan is available on the twu.edu/nursing website under the undergraduate programs tab, but we can send the link here in just a few moments.
One, as a transfer student, can I apply for the fall 2021 program? And if I apply to TWU and get accepted, does this make me eligible to apply for fall 2021?
You would be eligible to apply to the program for fall 2021 if you have completed all of the nursing core prerequisites before the February 1st, 2021 application deadline.
Thank you. Next question is, I have heard that some nursing programs only allow transfer students in the spring and that the fall is saved only for students who have been enrolled and taking courses at the school. Does TWU allow transfer students in the fall?
Yes, transfer students can apply in either term.
Okay, next question. We have a lot of questions, which is great. Thanks everybody for chatting your questions. Do you calculate irrelevant courses? I'm guessing that refers to nursing core courses previously taken into GPA for overall GPA grade, or do you just count the prerequisites that you look for? For example, macroeconomics or speech?
So macroeconomics is not a course that we would consider in your application for nursing school. Speech could be. With that one, it depends. So we would have to kind of review your transcripts to see where you took the class and whether or not you're using it to fulfill one of the state core requirements. So with that course, it depends, but we look at your prerequisite classes, which includes your nursing core GPA, your nursing core classes, and your state core classes. And that GPA needs to be at least 3.0 for you to be eligible to apply to the program. Your nursing core GPA is just based on some more specific classes, your science-related classes like microbiology and anatomy and physiology. And typically, the GPA needed in those courses for you to be competitive for entry is around 3.7.
Thank you. And someone who has a second degree seeking student applying for spring 2021, but I have started everything fall 2020 and decided to wait until spring 21. Does it, because out of state, do I need to take the Texas core classes?
Yes. So for our out-of-state students, we really encourage that you try to schedule an advising appointment with us to see if those Englishes, histories, and stuff like that can count for the Texas State core curriculum. If this is your first degree, I should say. For sure, you want to schedule an appointment just to make sure everything will transfer over to TWU OK. If this is your second degree, you want to make sure that those 7 nursing core courses will transfer as well. So for out of state, I just encourage schedule an appointment so that we can evaluate your transcripts and get you your game plan and next steps.
So there's a question that's more on the admission side, and it's asking about what's a good time to apply to TWU. So you would do your Apply Texas application first, and then nursing CAS is indicated by the advisors, but there's no specific time to do them. You just don't want to do them, as mentioned earlier, too late. So the earlier you could do your Apply Texas application, the better. And then the second part to that question is asking, I'm wondering if we've had several years in between now and our last class, should we still finish at the same school, or should we apply at TWU ASAP? And I'm wondering if that question might be referencing the prerequisites. So I don't know if the advisors know what would be preferable.
So, we don't have a time limit or age limit on how old your prerequisite courses can be. So, if you took some classes a while ago and you still want to apply to the program, you can do that. I'm not sure if that kind of answers the question.
I do want to add to that, you can take your prerequisites at any accredited institution that's near you, so like a local community college or a university. But if you do that, you definitely want to make sure that the courses will transfer okay.
Thank you. And one student's asking how many students are accepted at each location per semester.
So,
We accept 120 per campus. So the Dallas and Houston Center accepts 120 per application cycle.
And then the weekend evening program, we accept 40 people, and that's fall only.
Thank you. Someone asks, since I am going to apply for the spring program, what will I be doing the fall semester of 2020?
So if you've completed all of your prerequisite courses, you aren't required to take any additional classes during the fall. We give students the option to take pathophysiology before they start the nursing program if they want to. Some students choose to add minors to their degree plans if they just want to be enrolled in school or if they're interested in another field. Some students take the semester off, some travel abroad. It's just a kind of an individual decision that you make about how you want to handle that semester.
I have a few questions that were answered by admission staff or other advisors, so I'm not skipping you, but I saw you have an answer to it. One question does ask that would be good for the group. What about TWU offers summer classes / summer clinicals?
At the moment, we don't have any summer classes that are offered aside from the weekend evening program. So the weekend evening program is fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer. But for the traditional pre-licensure program, all of your coursework is in the fall or the spring at this point.
There is a nursing elective course that is on the degree plan for your senior 1 semester. It's a 2 credit hour class. Sometimes we will offer those nursing electives in the summer. For example, last summer we had some students go to Texas Children's Hospital's OR and did 52 hours there for an elective course. So sometimes there's some clinical experience or coursework that you can take in the summer. Same thing with study abroad opportunities. You would take the trip in the summer, but you'll be registering for the course in the previous semester.
Okay, and one question is a
There's
bit
also opportunity for internships and
Yep. So you can do internships and externships in the summer as well. Sometimes faculty will assist their students in finding those experiences, or you can do your own personal research on it. It's based on your preference, especially with those concentrations that you guys were speaking of earlier, to find those experiences. You want to use the summer to gain more experience, to put it on your resume, so when you're about to graduate, you can start applying for those residency positions with a lot of experience and things to talk about in your interviews.
I think you mentioned during the presentation the T's, but are there any updates that students should take away with regarding the T's?
This is Dr. Cottrell. I can answer the T's. Many places are not offering T's because it's an in-person testing option. However, we just were able to this week find an alternative to that with remote proctoring. So if you will check our website, either the TWU website or the ATIT's website, late tomorrow, you should find that we will be opening up 6 different options during May. There'll be a TEAS test available May 1, May 2, I believe the 16th, 17th, and the 28th and 29th. So that is good news. And there will soon be back in business with that.
I'm not sure if I asked this question yet, but for a specific course that was taken at another institution, how can students find out that they're equivalent? So this is for Jessica's question regarding a specific course that she took at Angelo State.
So students can check the transfer equivalency tool on the TWU website. They can also look at the transfer equivalency chart that's posted on our website. And if the course is not listed on that chart, they'll need to send an email to our email to have it reviewed by an advisor, and we'll be able to tell them whether or not we can accept the course in place of one of our courses.
Thank you. Trying to see what questions don't have answers to them. So I'm going to combine 2 questions. So are there any interviews or letters of recommendation that students can expect from the College of Nursing?
No, we don't consider interviews or recommendations or anything like that. Our admission process uses a point system and is based on your nursing core GPA and your TE score.
And this is Dean Mainous. I'd like to speak to that for just a minute. We are actually exploring and putting together a process for holistic admissions. So we are going to be moving to a different model of admissions. It's holistic. It looks at a number of characteristics. It's not basically just GPA based. And so more information will be coming out on that. I'm imagining that we probably won't see that until about spring of 21, but it is on the horizon. Will be coming.
Thank you. I think we'll just take a few more questions, and that way we'll wrap up. I'm trying to find one that works for the whole team. Questions about dropped courses. I know dropped classes are taken into consideration as well. If we had dropped classes due to serious health issues and complicated unique situations, are we able to explain this when applying?
Because right now we're just using for the most recent, the admission cycle right now that we're dealing with, we're really just looking at what your highest grade is, or I'm sorry, what your most recent grade is on that class that you took. So if you had a bunch of drops, you know, a few years ago, probably it doesn't matter so long as you've taken the classes again and you've gotten, you know, good grades in those classes. So we probably would want to see the situation, but typically you take the class again, you get a good grade, then you're good.
Thank you. Can someone apply to both Dallas and Houston?
No, we only allow students to apply to one program on one campus. So you can only apply to the traditional or the weekend evening program, and you can only apply to the Dallas or the Houston campus.
Okay, looks like maybe one more question. Can you, it's a bit specific with the T's versus the GPA, but can someone explain a little bit about how it looks one versus the other, like how students what can they focus on to improve their application?
So your nursing core GPA counts for as much as 20 points based on how much is above 3.0. So it starts at 3.0. If you have a 4.0 nursing core GPA, you have 20 points from that. The TEAS test counts for as much as 48 points, and you have to score at least 64 on each section of the TEAS to be eligible to apply. But the higher your score on that test, the closer you will get to the 48 points. Of course, if you made 100 on each section, you get the full 48 points. But that's the way we do our points.
And the last question, because I think it's very interesting, do you mind sharing a little bit about the study abroad?
Yeah, so the study abroad opportunity is through our global Center of Global Nurses that's housed at the Houston Center. So it does count for your nursing elective. They choose the places every summer. So this summer, when it was a thing before COVID-19, they were going to the UK, Vietnam, and some other places. So you can be able to register for that course, attend information sessions on gathering the materials you need to register for, and just make sure you're getting the funding and scholarships as well. So you'll be able to speak with faculty about those opportunities, and then learn what places we will be visiting while your time at TWU.
We also offer experiences in Peru and a couple of other different countries, and we are looking at not only but more type courses where you actually are going to be practicing to some extent in the different countries. When you take the courses that go in May, you actually are enrolled in the spring semester, and I believe you have a couple of workshops or course sessions that teach you about the culture of the country and responsibilities are when you get to the country, what some of the parameters are, and then there is a reflective piece when you return.
Thank you. And with that, we're going to wrap up our session. We want to thank the presenters for their time. Appreciate all the information you're able to share with us today. For the attendees, thank you for joining us. We hope we were able to answer a lot of your questions. If we miss your questions at any point, there are advisors you're able to email. Please write down nursingadvising@twu.edu. We also have our admissions staff there as well. I'm M. Rodriguez 68@twu.edu for general admissions questions. But again, thank you for joining us and have a great day.